Mike McGarry of the Press of Atlantic City. We got high school sports reporters lined up for this hour to talk high school football, soccer, all that kind of stuff. So, Mike, are you there?
Yes, I am. Sully, how are you?
Did you get a tan last week out in L.A.?
You know, it's nice out there, but I don't think I was there long enough to get a tan. It was just real quick. You know, we flew out Saturday morning, went to the USC game Saturday night, spent Sunday out there, and flew back on Monday. So the weather was definitely a lot better out there than it was last night. I can confirm that.
Now, Mike, as a longtime sports fan, tell me what it's like to be in the Coliseum on a Saturday night. That's got to be a great experience.
Yeah, it was really a tremendous experience. Obviously, I've kind of been fortunate enough to be at a lot of sporting events, but I've never really been to a big-time college football program before and see the enthusiasm of one of those teams. From the tailgating before, from the band sort of marching through the campus before, to then walking into what is really, one of the historic stadiums in all of America, the Coliseum, filled with about 90,000 people. It was really just a tremendous experience overall and a great game and really something that, I would say, if you have an opportunity to go see, I know a lot of people from our area go see a Rutgers game or a Penn State game. It really is, if you can go see a big-time college football program play, you should take that experience because it really is unique to sporting events.
And, Mike, people don't realize how many people are at these college games. I mean, when you talk about it on the pro level, that's like going to the link and then adding everybody from Citizens Bank Park as well.
Yeah, I mean, it was just amazing to see USC is kind of in a city in downtown L.A., and to see, the elaborate tailgating. I know there's a lot of tailgating going on before Eagles games and things like that, but this is, families, people of all ages kind of tailgating, tents set up all over the campus. The bookstore, people, line to get in the bookstore to buy some USC gear and stuff like that, and then the walk, because you got to walk across campus to get into the Coliseum and stuff like that. And then just being in the Coliseum itself, it's an old-fashioned, stadium. It's hosted, 2-3 Olympics. It's got the Olympic torch, at one end that they light up for the fourth quarter. It's really, the band, the Traveler, the horse. I mean, it's all the theme song, the fight on stuff. So it's really just it's a tremendous experience.
Little different than a high school field in September, right?
Just a little bit, just a little bit. But obviously, just an overall, that's what the high school guys look to get to, and it's just it's really the experience of it being there, the tradition of it being there. Before USC comes out of the tunnel, they start talking about 10 national championships. 122 first-round NFL draft choices, 500 and something All-Americans, and then they show some of the pictures of the players up on the the jumbotron that have played for USC. Everybody from Frank Gifford to Lynn Swann to the Pete Carroll era. So it really is just tremendous when you think about all the tradition that's gone on there. And again, just the setting, 90,000 people in the Coliseum is really quite a sight on a Saturday night.
Now, Mike, I know you don't get too much of an opportunity to cover high school soccer, but I wanted to touch on that real quick. Two very different kind of views on the South Jersey finals. You're talking about the mainland boys. They kind of expected to win that final. They had a tough fight from Ocean City, but they're really thinking ahead. They want to win that state championship. And then you also had the Ocean City girls who really were just so thrilled with winning that title, first title in 17 years. So they're kind of playing with house money at this point. So a little different attitude towards those two finals.
Yeah, that's a good point. I believe they're both up at Toms River North on Tuesday, and that happens a lot in a lot of different sports when you win that South Jersey championship. Some teams, win that South Jersey championship, win that sectional championship, and they start looking ahead to the semifinal game and getting to that state final. And I know Mainland, I believe, has a rematch with Toms River South in that state semifinal, so they're kind of pointing at that. And then some teams, are just kind of overwhelmed and thrilled to win, that South Jersey title. Comes unexpectedly. The Ocean City girls are in that position. And so at this point on, everything with them is house money. And they also play Tuesday night up in there in a state semifinal. So it is interesting how teams sort of react to that sectional title. Some teams kind of, reach the point and say, hey, that's our goal and everything else is gravy. And some teams are kind of, pointing for more and stuff like that. Which approach works? I don't know. I've seen both work in 25 years. The Ocean City girls are a perfect example of a team that's gotten hot at the right moment. And that's what you need in all sports to go forward. You got to be playing your best when when the most important games roll around.
I'll tell you what, Mike, this is definitely a team to watch the next couple of years. We talk about the Ocean City girls. Pretty much half their starting lineup is freshmen and sophomores, and really high-level, club players, talented players, and to see them perform at this level when they're only 14, 15 years old is pretty incredible to see.
Yeah, it's outstanding and bodes well for the future right there. And a lot of times, that's what you're looking for. You're looking for that one class to come along, that group of 5, 6 girls that can sort of, set the tone or take the program to another level. Ocean City girls have always had a quality soccer program. You're looking for another class to sort of come along and bump that program to another level, and that's what these girls have done. And once it gets up there, nothing succeeds like success. So who knows, what's going to happen there. Kind of the same thing that's happened on the other flip side with the mainland boys. The mainland boys are kind of a veteran group now. They're pointing at that state semifinal. Maybe next year or the year after, these Ocean City girls will be feeling like the mainland boys are going into that state semifinal game.
Talk with Mike McGarry of the Press of Atlantic City. And, Mike, let's turn our attention to high school football. First round of playoffs last night. I guess you were out at West Deptford and Pleasantville. Give me some impressions of that game.
Well, I think, Pleasantville, first playoff berth in 12 seasons. They're looking for looking to pull the upset. They're the number 8 seed. They're playing the defending champion in West Deptford, a team that's won 7 South Jersey championships. And, what does, and I talked about it with Pleasantville coach Chris Sacco before the game. I think if you're looking to pull an upset, I don't care what the sport is, in any sport, the first thing you got to do is get off to a good start and sort of stabilize the game. Well, the opposite happened for Pleasantville last night. They throw an interception on their first possession. 2 plays later, West Deptford's up 7-0. Pleasantville goes 3 and out on their next possession. 4 plays later, West Deptford is up 14-0. The game is about 6 minutes old. Pleasantville's down 2 scores. And really, at that point, although Pleasantville had some opportunities to maybe get back in the game, the contest was basically over. So West Deptford kind of overwhelms Pleasantville in that game, but it doesn't take away from the remarkable turnaround that Pleasantville has had. They bring back a lot of players, and they have an opportunity, against Ocean City on Thanksgiving with a win to finish 8-2, and that would certainly be a tremendous achievement for the Greyhounds.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy, Mike, to think about. That might be one of the best Thanksgiving games around, Ocean City Pleasantville. We haven't been able to say that in a long time.
Yeah, absolutely. Long-time rivalry, and Ocean City played well last night, gave Delsey all they could handle in the South Jersey Group 3 playoffs, so it certainly should be an entertaining game. And, I know Pleasantville was disappointed with last night's result, a lopsided defeat. I think the final was 51-12. But let's not forget, in the 5 years before Chris Sacco took over, and he's in his 3rd season, Pleasantville was 3-47. Let's let that sink in for a second. 3-47 in the 5 years before he took over. Now in his 3rd season, they're playing in a South Jersey playoff game with, a lot of players coming back next season. So I kind of look at it as a learning experience, a growing experience for Pleasantville as they went and played one of South Jersey's premier programs and just did not get the start that they wanted to. The game got wrecked early, and that sometimes happens in the playoffs.
And, Mike, this is going to be a really interesting team to see next year. Like you said, they only graduate a handful of players, and a lot of their real good skill position players are back, a lot of guys on the line. So this is, they're not used to being a team going into a season that has a lot of expectations on it. So that could be really interesting to see next fall. I mean, this is definitely a team you're going to want to keep your eye on the next couple of years. Now you're getting a lot of excitement in the fan base, the Jokers, the youth program. So, maybe those kids won't go to a parochial school and will stay home to Pleasantville.
Yeah, absolutely. And plus, the West Jersey Football League is going to realign next year. So Pleasantville, because of their success, will get some tougher crossover games against more established programs. And if they manage to, do well in those contests and win those contests, they can get some more power points to the point where if they are 7-1 and 6-2, maybe they won't have to go play the top seed in the first round, and maybe they could even host a game or be in a situation like Cedar Creek, who today will host Willingboro in that 4-5 game. So it's a matter of growth for the Pleasantville football program, and despite what happened last night, this season was a huge step forward for the Greyhounds.
Mike, what's going on with the Blue Devils out in Hamilton? 3-6, and now they're in the sectional semis.
A big win for them last night. They go up to Central Regional. They win that football game, and I feel good for them. Jim Rasso is an excellent coach out there. Hamilton has played maybe as tough a schedule as anybody in South Jersey. They're in the division with Cherokee, Williamstown, Rancocas Valley was one of their crossovers. They played Millville was another one of their crossovers. So it just goes to show you the schedule they played. Even though Hamilton did not win a lot of those football games, they certainly toughened them up and got them prepared for the playoffs. So they go on the road and win last night. Not only that, I believe they have a home game next Friday night against Highland. And can Hamilton beat Highland? Sure, why not? And then Hamilton can find itself in the South Jersey final. So, they've got some players out there. Ray Triboletti has played tough for them all season long. He's played a little running back. He's played a little receiver. He's played some quarterback now. He's really kind of held them together. And for Hamilton to sort of, not hold things together, for Coach Rasso to get out there, hold the team together, it's not easy. They were 3-6. They started 2-0, so, there was a lot of losing along the way, but they stayed the course. And then last night they're rewarded by going to Central Regional and in a 6-3 game and winning that playoff game. So, and now they have a home playoff game in the semifinal. They were a win away from the South Jersey final. Just a tremendous, a tremendous testament to Hamilton's ability to stick to the task and not quit in a season where when you're losing 5 or 6 in a row in football, it's easy to go off the rails. Look at the New York Football Giants. They're doing it. Pros are doing it, but here's Hamilton staying the course, and they're rewarded last night with a big victory.
Yeah, it was funny. I was listening to Friday Night Live on the way back from Delsea, and John O'Kane was joking that now the booster club's kind of scrambling around trying to figure out what's left in stock in the snack stand, and they're going to have to reopen that.
Hamilton snack stand is top of the list. So somebody went shopping for more mozzarella sticks and sausage and peppers right this morning because, I'm sure they'll have a big crowd out there and another day to sell some great food. So you're right. Somebody is shopping out in Hamilton for sticks and sausage and peppers out there.
Mike, real quick before we let you go, what are you looking for today? We got a couple of big games in the state playoffs going on.
Yeah, a couple of big days, and I'm about to actually head out now. Quick drive up to Homedale. Alyssa Aldridge of Mainland Regional competing in the state Group 3 championship, looking for her third straight state Group 3 championship. The Mainland Regional phenomenal cross-country runner in a loaded field, an incredible field. Alyssa coming off a little bit of an injury. We'll see what kind of shape she's in. She's running against some of the top runners in the state and really what is the best race of the day, so we'll be checking that out today. And then it'll be down to Lacey to see Lakewood and Lacey in that South Jersey, I believe it's a Group 3 quarterfinal. And of course, we'll have Bill Laconey, I believe, out at Willingboro at Cedar Creek in that South Jersey Group 2 quarterfinal. And then, of course, St. Joe begins their playoff run today as a top seed hosting St. Mary of Rutherford. So this time of year, there really is no rest for the weary, but we're going to go see Alyssa Aldridge run and then down to see the Lacey football team against Lakewood, and we'll have all the coverage in the Press of AC and pressofac.com tomorrow.
Mike, keep your eye on Alexa Weber from Ocean City. She's right there with Alyssa, an outstanding runner in her own right.
Right, exactly. On the Ocean City girls winning South Jersey Group 3 championship last week at Delsea Regional, so they'll be testing themselves in that same race, and that's an example of how loaded That's state Group 3 races. There's 2 or 3 girls from the north who are very talented, very young and up-and-coming runners. It's a 10:30 race up there at Homedale, and it should be an outstanding field, with Alyssa, Alexa, and the whole Ocean City girls team in it. So it should be a loaded event and one of the best events of the day.
Good stuff, Mike. We appreciate it as always, and layer up today, man. It's only going to be about 30 degrees, so
hey,
get your mittens on.
The sun's out. If you could survive last night, you can survive today. The sun's out. All right.
Good stuff, Mike. Have a good weekend.
See you later. Bye-bye.